Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Azi here. Welcome to the More Than a Pretty Face podcast. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the More Than a Pretty Face podcast. We're so excited to be recording another episode for you guys. Hey, Lacie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You're sitting there very quiet, and I don't see your coffee.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we have our new mics and
We do. We have
just
new
trying
mics.
to figure out a good way to talk to you.
Well, I'm just, trying to still catch up to the day. We had a lot of those surgeries in the morning.
Yes.
And so this is, I feel like, the first time we've gotten to really sit down.
Mhm.
We've
Yeah,
just been
that's
running
accurate.
around since 7 a.m. this morning. So it's nice to catch up. You have a beauty. I have a really bad blemish. So I'm gonna go after you because there's no way yours is gonna top mine.
Oh, well, I don't know. Let's see. Well, okay. My beauty is my girlfriends were in town a couple weekends ago.
Oh.
And so I had my first real girls' weekend, you guys, in 2 years. So
What happens when you have a kid?
Yes, but it was amazing. Oh my gosh. We went to Glamis and we did the ATVs. We went to, we had a picnic on the beach, one of the
nice.
pop-up picnic places. So it was really pretty. A spa day. We made the most out of our weekend.
sounds
So it was
amazing.
amazing. Yes.
So fun. There's nothing like girl time.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it?
No,
just
it's so good.
So special.
So special and so relaxing.
I know.
But I would say my blemish then would be my girlfriend. She loves that, I do what I do. And I'm always talking to her about the latest trends and things like that. And so she found herself a little esthetician, small little, I don't know if it's a business, but just a private person that she's so excited to go see. And so she told me all about her first facial treatment. And this is before, she goes to see her derm because she does have kind of really bad acne. And she is getting this facial done. And the esthetician is just like, oh my gosh, I need to extract. And she extracts all of these cystic pimples around her jawline and the mouth. And she's telling me how excited she was that she had this treatment. And the esthetician's even like, look at, this is all the pus I got out. And
Wait, let me back up here. She has cystic acne. She has those big
I'm
nodules?
not a doctor, but I diagnosed her with cystic acne.
Okay,
Yes.
so guys, that means that she has these, deep the ones that don't make it to the surface of the skin.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So then what happens?
So she just called me literally the other day, freaking out because she feels like her acne is way worse now. She feels like she's getting scars and little pigment in the areas that were treated, and she's freaking out. She doesn't know what to do.
Oh, well, personally, as a dermatologist, I would say not to poke those deep cysts because you're not going to be able to extract anything. Right? Because they're solid. And typically cystic acne is not going to be able, we just can't treat cystic acne with topical treatments. That type of acne is very deep underneath the skin. And that's why medications work the best because you need something, in the bloodstream to really help that. Plus poking and prodding into an already inflamed cyst is only going to make the inflammation worse.
Yes.
And delay the healing. And that will certainly, may even bring out more cystic nodules because you may be even introducing bacteria that might be on the surface of the skin. I mean, I'm sure this esthetician was great and she probably had, all the best of intentions, but nevertheless, never try to extract or pop those deep cystic pimples.
Yes.
They will not pop. They are solid. A quick trick is getting them injected with a little medication that at the dermatology office. It makes them go away in 24 to 48 hours. Now you have to be careful because it is technique dependent. If that medication injection is injected too deep, you can get a divot because it melts the fat under the skin. we have a way of correcting that, but it is, technique dependent. But that would be what I would suggest. Or, medications for acne such as doxycycline. Now there's a new one called Cicera that we really love that works very well and doesn't have all the side effects of the previous generation of acne antibiotics. But that works actually pretty quickly. Well, that's a bummer. I hope she's doing better.
Yeah. She's finally getting in with her derm like next week. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to tell me your beauty and blemish. You have a good one.
Yeah. This is, you haven't heard this yet because last night, towards the end of the day, they added on this patient. They were like, it's kind of an emergency. She really needs to be seen. So I was like, sure, add her on. It was actually someone I'd never seen before. And I was in my office just wrapping up the day, and Selena, she comes in, her big brown eyes when they get really concerned.
Oh, yes.
So she comes and she's looking at me with her brown eyes and she's like, you are not going to be happy about this next case. And I was like, whoa, no. What happened, And she's like, wait till you hear what happened to this poor girl. So I go in. So she was in her early 20s and she had gone to her hair salon to get her hair done.
Okay.
And they were like, somehow talked her into getting what is called a needleless lip filler, lip plumper.
This is not where I saw this going.
We're like, no. Do you want to get your lips like fuller? We don't use a needle. We have this new pen. It was the Hyaluron pen.
No.
And for those of you guys who don't know what that is a pen that has a cartridge. It looks like a cartridge that has hyaluronic acid in it. And they say that it's non-invasive. There's no needles. But somehow they get the hyaluronic acid into the lip tissue by force. That's how it's supposed to work. You push a button and it ejects this hyaluronic acid that is not FDA approved, by the way.
No.
It is just some hyaluronic acid made somewhere in some lab, and neither is the Hyaluron pen. It is not an FDA approved device. And so she is like in tears. Her lips are like 10 times. She looked like she has angioedema.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you know what that is, but angioedema is when you get a severe allergic reaction. And I thought her lips were going to pop. Like I'd never seen swelling this extreme. But on top of that, she was bruised. She had like cuts and, she was just panicking. She was like, what do I do? I'm like, well, what happened? And she's like, hey, I said it was needleless and this and that. So poor girl, we, dissolved the hyaluronic acid as quickly as possible. I put her on antibiotics and prednisone to just get the swelling down. But I called her today and thank God she's a lot better now that we dissolved the filler. Good. But poor thing. I can't believe that this is totally legit. And people, I feel bad for the average consumer because they think, well, this place is a reputable salon and certainly they must be doing things by the book. But this lip filler, anything you put into your body is really a medical procedure. A lot could go wrong. And beware of Hyaluron pens because even though they advertise as needleless, somehow that filler must get into the lip, right?
Yeah, it has. Yeah. Ugh. Poor girl. I'm so glad she's better.
Yeah.
Or on the road to recovery.
Yeah. So, be very cautious because you can get like lumps and bumps. And, when we do lip filler, there's a reason we use the needle. We place it very precisely. Some people have asymmetry. But more importantly, what if this hyaluronic acid that is put into your skin is contaminated? And months later, a year later, you can get what are called granulomatous infections that cause disfiguring because they turn into hard knots. It's when your body attacks something foreign and it can't break it down. So then it forms these granulomas. So be really, really cautious, you guys. If you desperately want a lip plumper, like don't do the high one. At least just get a lip plumper. Use a little peppermint oil.
Yeah.
Dilute a little peppermint oil and slather it on your lips. It's probably safer than doing the Hyaluron pen.
Aw. Well, I always heard too that not all of those fillers can even be dissolvable.
Well, we don't know exactly what's in it, but it's advertised as hyaluronic acid. Luckily, this one was.
Yeah, thankfully.
I mean, they probably are hyaluronic acid, but the way that it's manufactured and processed, and who knows what other contaminants might be in that, especially in today's world where everything is getting contaminated. I mean, every day you turn on the news and it's like, this sunscreen contaminated with benzene, and
Oh, well.
So stay safe.
Yes.
Beauties.
I have had a lot of patients asking and wanting to know tips and tricks for holiday skincare and just looking their best for the holidays.
I know, it's coming up. I can't believe it.
So I thought this would be the perfect topic for today.
Yes, I love that.
Before we get started, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And make sure you're following us on Instagram at More Than a Pretty Face Podcast. And we love seeing your guys' DMs with all your questions. So don't forget to also screenshot this and share it with your friends.
And tag us at Skin by Dr. Azi and More Than a Pretty Face Podcast. We love to see you listening to the podcast. Happy holidays, friends. It's time to get your glow on, and we have the perfect gift sets for you or your loved one this season. The Glow Getter includes our top-selling glow serum, a circulation-boosting mini jade roller with a limited edition luxe cosmetic bag. The Holiday Detox gift set is designed to relieve the season's stress and purify your complexion with a full-size detox mask, custom applicator brush, and our limited edition luxe cosmetic bag. Both sets are available now at AziMDSkincare.com. All right, so let's go with your holiday tips and tricks.
Yes. So one of the most popular questions is when to get Botox.
Yeah, that's a great question. Ideally, if you have an event, you want to get your Botox about 3 weeks before, at least 2 weeks, because, you get the Botox the first week or even the second week, you might be going through this transition phase where some muscles and some people will take effect faster than other muscles. So you might have some imbalance. It might be a little asymmetric, but it really can take up to 2 weeks for it to kick in completely.
Yes.
And then maybe another week to really settle. So ideally, I would say 3 weeks, but even if you do 2 weeks, it's good.
Perfect. I love that. Now, second most popular, fillers. When is a great time to do fillers? Because I have had patients come in like days before an event saying, I have an event this weekend. I want to get my lips done. I want to do this. I want to do that.
They'll come in on a Thursday and say, and we're all set, ready to go. I'm like about to prep the skin and inject the filler. Like, well, I have a party on Saturday. You think I'd be okay? I'm like, yeah, that's probably peak inflammation time.
Yes.
So when you get fillers, just remember it's being placed into your skin, which means that you're going to react. You're going to have swelling, you're going to have inflammation, and anytime there is a needle that goes through the skin, there's a chance of bruising. I don't care if I use a cannula. Although when we do eye glow, it's very, very rare to get bruising, but nevertheless, you still can get it. And bruising, really, the inflammation peaks at, I say 24 to 48 hours, you start to see it peak. And then 48 to 72 hours, it sort of stays kind of inflamed. And then it gets better by day 5. So 2 to 4 days is really your prime time for inflammation.
Yes.
Now, if you have a dermatologist that has lasers, they can laser your bruise after 24 hours.
Yes.
And you want to really get it earlier rather than later. After 24 hours, you can get a laser and it makes the bruise go away much, much faster. Typically by day 4, it's gone. So it really speeds it up. And then I always tell patients to get some pineapples because pineapples have bromelain in it.
Yes.
And that really helps with inflammation.
To eat, not rub on your face.
That's right. Don't rub it on your face. And that helps, the bruises clear a little faster.
My favorite go-to is the Enhanced Serum by Elastin.
Yes, I love that one too. It's a bruise serum. It works really well. Patients really love it.
Yep. Especially for lips. It just feels like a really nice gloss.
Yeah. And so what should you do to prevent bruising if you are going to get fillers? I would say don't drink alcohol 3 days before your treatment. Don't take aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen, Midol, Advil. 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks for the effects to wear off. And then you want to stay away from vitamin E, fish oil, omega-3. These also thin the blood, which is great for your heart, but not great when you're getting filler. No. So you want to avoid that for 2 weeks before. And then ice before. I always, in my practice, ice patients before I inject. And then we also send them home with ice packs because that really helps too.
Yes.
Anything I'm leaving out?
I don't think so. You covered it all. It's great. All right. Third most popular question, chemical peels.
Yes.
Love them, but when to do it?
It depends. It depends on the depth of the peel. So if you're getting, a professional peel by your physician or, a medical professional, most likely it's going to be a medium depth peel like a TCA or even a Jesner's peel. It really takes 3 weeks for it to, heal and be at its best. 3 to 4 weeks.
When your glow kicks in?
When your glow kicks in. Because starting after a few days after your peel, that's when the skin starts to come off. But sometimes it can take a couple of weeks for it to really come off. And even at 2 to 3 weeks, your skin might still feel a little bit dry. And some peels you're not like peeling in sheets than like other peels. You just have like dry skin. It just looks like you have really dry skin. And so chemical peels can take a little bit longer than lasers. I would say lasers for the most part are a week. You have more redness, you have more swelling with lasers, but ideally you want to do those 2 weeks before peels, 3 weeks before. And then microneedling is usually a week. Microneedling is the least of them, of the treatments. Yeah. Now, if you don't want to have any downtime, you can do radiofrequency without microneedling. So that's always great. Like we love the Exilis in the office.
Yes. Or the Diamond Glow, or both.
Yeah, or the Diamond Glow you can do. It's like a hydrofacial, just a little more clinical.
Yeah.
Because it has a diamond tip that resurfaces the skin and gets the dead skin off, so your makeup goes on smoother.
I love it. Love it.
And then your pores are clean. So that you can actually do like the day before your event.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I do like that Friday before something. Yes. Love it. Okay. I'm not a big fan of spray tans, but everyone wants to know, when should they do their spray tans prior to a holiday event?
Yeah, I mean, spray tans are great. People think that it makes them look, slimmer and covers up a lot of the skin imperfections you might see. I would say you want to do that a couple of days before to really get your tan nice and fresh. Yeah. And then I suggest starting to exfoliate 2 weeks before, because the less dead skin buildup you have on your skin, the smoother that tan goes on, the less, things it has to bind to, and just the more even it looks. So I love the one spray because it's so easy to use and it's very clinical, meaning it's pretty potent. So you use that like on your legs, your arms. It's a body spray. So not for your face, it's a body spray. And then for your face, Clarify pads. Yeah, those are really great. They're glycolic and salicylic acid. And you want to do that like starting a week or two before. And I think that is a good, and then moisturize too after you exfoliate.
Okay. I think that might be why I don't like spray tans, because decades ago when they first launched them at the tanning salons that I've never been to.
Sure. In Ohio, nobody went to tanning salons.
I remember trying it. They had like a really cool bed that you stood in, and they didn't tell you how cold the spray was going to be. I inhaled all of it.
Yeah.
It was a horrible experience. And then the tan, when it starts to slough off and you're blotchy, I could never do it again.
I don't like the smell sometimes either, but now they're pretty good. I mean, there are some really great organic, tanning spray solutions that don't have as strong of a smell.
Right.
So I think we've come a long way. I wouldn't get a spray tan if you're pregnant because, like you said, inhaling those fumes, probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Man, I wish somebody would have told me to exfoliate beforehand. Well, what other tips and tricks would you have? I mean, those were our top questions, but I know there was plenty more.
Well, holidays are kind of the time where you indulge in sweets and alcohol, and all of that can really wreak havoc on your skin. The other thing is when you go out to these parties, sometimes you come home and it's like so late.
What?
It's like 9:30. So late.
So late. I don't want to wash my face.
I know. And on top of that, you're wearing like piles and piles of makeup. I just want to remind you guys, so important to remove your makeup after these events because you're probably eating and drinking more than you usually do. And those are not great for your skin because let's talk about sugary stuff.
Yeah.
And I always find a pile of blueberries. Like instead of going for the sweets, I find the blueberries because sugar can cause what's called glycation in your skin, which means it binds to proteins and lipids and it stops them from forming, their natural production of collagen and elastin. And it makes your skin more prone to damage from sunlight, from environmental stressors. So sugar is probably your worst enemy. Now, you can combat that by finding the blueberries. Okay, find the blueberries at your party and eat a chock full of blueberries because they're full of antioxidants. And at least they help repair the damage that sugar and alcohol does. Yeah.
I like that tip.
Yes. And then alcohol too, it breaks down to acetaldehyde, and that's what makes you flush and blush.
Yes.
That stuff is not good. It's very toxic. It really damages your collagen and elastin, which you want to preserve. And if you're doing that a lot during the holidays, you really want to take really good care of your skin, cleanse it because healthy skin is clean skin.
Yes. Ugh.
And wearing all that makeup.
All I can think about is all the great sugar, desserts, cocktails. That's all that's going through my mind.
And I'm here to ruin that
and you're
fantasy.
Like, no.
No, have it. Okay, I'm all for the cocktails, okay? Because they're really... If you're going to have cocktails, this is the time of year you're going to have it. But here's my trick. This is what I do. For every drink, I'll order a sparkling water and have a sparkling water in between the alcoholic drinks because one, it hydrates you because alcohol dehydrates you, right?
Yes.
So that's a little tip. And it sort of slows down the process of acetaldehyde formation.
So I won't get as red in the face.
You won't get as red. You won't have as much damaging. You may not have as much fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's still fun. But that's a way to combat the dehydration. Trust me, you're going to thank me the next morning.
I will.
When you come to work and you're happier than anyone else.
And I come to work and I'm like, I actually washed my face before I went to bed.
Yes. I mean, even if I'm not a fan of makeup wipes, okay?
No, I'm not either.
But at least if that's the least you can do, put some makeup wipes by your nightstand at a minimum.
For emergencies.
And then make sure you double cleanse in the morning if you are so tired that you just cannot do it.
Yeah.
But, I always put my stuff next to my toothbrush because everyone brushes their teeth before bed. I mean, I think, right? I hope. Most people do. So I feel like if you put it next to your toothbrush, you'll see it and you'll be like, I can do it. just one more minute.
I love that. Well, you guys will have to tell us how you do.
Yes, let us know.
I think that's all the questions unless you had anything else to add.
Yeah, no, and keep hydrated, moisturize, support that skin barrier.
Yes.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you're on Instagram, follow us at More Than a Pretty Face Podcast and take a screenshot, share it to your stories if you are listening. Thanks, guys.
Bye.